everybody. Welcome to another episode of Let's Grow Awesome. Today, we're going to jump right into it. So recently, Jessie Wu tweeted, "Did your parents teach you the importance of dating, or did they just stuff marriage down your throat?" So we thought that was an interesting conversation to have. So ladies, first of all, did you guys have that conversation with your parents?
No, actually,
I didn't.
Okay, so which one of us actually got the sex talk?
I mean, I did, but not from my mom and my dad, but from my uncle. My uncle was very open person, so which my parents are not. So yes, I got the first talk with him, and it was quite cool actually.
At what age?
But since I grew up Christian, so
Yeah.
I got the Christian version of the talk, I guess, which is to not do certain things, and this is what's gonna happen. But I think it was really good. It was a good one.
Oh, that's good. It's, usually I hear it's awkward, but for you to say that it was good was amazing.
No, my uncle was like a
Cassie at
second
that
father
point?
to me. He was like a second father to me, so we were pretty cool. I guess he was the perfect person actually for the conversation. So, yeah.
I applaud him for that.
Yeah, I got it pretty early on. I think I was 5 years old when I asked my mother how was I brought into this world, and I just asked that, and she really was she explained it to me, but she was really honest
How
about.
do you explain that to a 5-year-old in a very
Right. I don't know, but I think it's funny because I think I already knew. So I remember already knowing, but I wanted her to tell me. I wanted to see so I said, "How did I come into this world?" And then she said, "Well, your father and I," and she went on. And she explained that boys have the ability to, and the woman has this ability, and then boom. So she explained it to me. So that was an opening to that conversation. And I remember throughout my childhood, throughout my upbringing, my mom was very open about that. So
How old were you, Cassie?
I think I was like 12 or 13.
Okay.
That's better.
When I first had that conversation.
Yeah.
And I didn't ask him. That's the thing. I did not ask. It was just that I think I was on the phone and he heard me talking, and then he was like, "Oh, so what is that?" And I was like, "Oh no, it was just me and my friends talking." So he was like, "Well, do you know what this is?" And I'm like, I do. So he started talking to me about how boys can put their teeny tiny weenie. Yeah, but I think it was really good.
So
and I even told my dad, I was like, I spoke with my uncle. I spoke with Toto Manu about this. And he was like, and yeah, I don't think I've ever really felt comfortable talking to my parents about boys in general. Never. I mean, till this day, I don't really feel comfortable. My mom is really like, reserved person. So, and I don't see me talking to my dad. My dad and I are close, but I don't see me talking to him about those things. It makes me uncomfortable.
I feel like at least you had like a safe adult to talk to it about.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
I guess but that counts.
Well, I had.
I think that's important.
So, did anyone actually get the dating talk? Did your parents explain that you would meet someone and it's okay that they're not the person you marry, and it's okay to just explore that kind of relationship?
That's it.
Absolutely not for me.
Come on.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. My mom was very strict when I was growing up, and it was always, she always approached these kind of things in a way that I felt like I was being scolded for no reason. Like, you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed, it was never, well, this is, you know, this is what can happen. You know, you can't meet someone. It was like, if you talk to a boy, then you're going to get pregnant and your life is going to be over. That's basically what my whole like teens like that. And Evan, she would constantly talk about it to the point where I'm like, oh my god, like if a boy approached me, I would run away, because all that I could hear is my mom saying, you're not supposed to talk to anyone. So she never really sat me down to say that, you know, you can talk to someone, become their friends, and you get to know them. But the expectation was that once you're 18 and then you're out there, then like, how do you, if for all these years you kind of drilled into me that I'm not supposed to talk to the opposite sex. How do you expect me to now all of a sudden get to know people? It's like,
it's like, now where's the husband? When you turn after you graduate school, you're like, where's the husband?
Exactly.
But I thought I wasn't supposed to talk to guys.
That's the issue with me right now, because recently my sister got married and she has a kid. So now I'm being pressured to do the same thing, get married and then have a kid. And it's another thing, because I don't actually believe in marriage and like children. That's another thing that I'm questioning myself about, because I don't know if I want to have a kid. And she's really shook by the whole idea of me not wanting to do that. So coming from not wanting me to even have a boyfriend, being in a relationship, and then she's now asking me, okay, so when are you going to give me a grandbaby? Like, woman, how do we get from this point to that point, you know? So
you jumped a whole lot of things. That's how.
I know.
Yeah. And I really feel like with a lot of parents, that's the story. Especially, I would say, in our community. But it will be interesting to hear from from someone who grew up here. Unfortunately, we don't have that person in the panel, but I'm sure like once people see our episode, it will be interesting for them to comment, so that way we can learn about like their experience.
How was your experience, Garden?
My parents didn't necessarily say no, I couldn't date, but it was expected. But then I started dating at 14 and they never stopped me. So it's not, I didn't particularly get to talk, but it was expected that whoever I was with was going to be the person that I married, which is unbelievable. How can you expect that out of a 14-year-old? Like, we're just kids, we haven't even gotten to the point where we understand the meaning of marriage, or we understand how to know a person, because you can't really know someone who's 14 because you change so much. So how many of you guys actually believe in marriage and wanting to get married? How many of you guys want to be married?
I mean,
believe in what?
How many of you guys want to be married or believe in marriage?
It's not that I don't believe in it, or, I mean, if it happens, it happens. But the whole idea, I think, like, some parents have, it's like a fulfillment. They feel like once you achieve that step in your life, then you like, some way, somehow, like, I think it's the ultimate fulfillment for them to have kids, to be married. And I don't think marriage should equate to fulfillment, because
a success.
Exactly. I think it's the wrong idea. I think the analogy behind it is definitely wrong. So that's my choice of, like, if it happens, it happens. I'm not pressuring it. It's not something that I'm actually, like, I guess running towards, to be honest. So I rather be happy and be fulfilled within myself in a way, instead of, like, saying, oh, I'm like, in my 30s, I need to, like, find a man and hurry up and get married and stuff like that. I think the whole idea is BS.
What about
I-
you, and what are your thoughts on marriage?
I don't know, to be, because I don't want to get married, to be honest. I don't believe in marriage. There's too many divorces out there. So to me, I always question myself. Like, I always ask myself, can I really be in a position where I tell someone, I want to be with you forever? So I want a life partner, and ideally that happens. So ideally, in my perfect world, I do have someone that I do stay with forever. So it's not something that I don't want. I just don't feel like I'm able to say that to someone, because I don't know. And a lot of people got married, and a lot of people said it, and they got divorced. And you swore before God, if you wish, if you believe in that, that you're going to be with that person forever, yet you have no control over that. So I don't feel like I want to make that commitment. I don't feel like I want to lie. I just want to say, hopefully I find someone that I stay with forever, and that we both feel that way.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it.
I think that is the issue.
Eye to eye on that idea with Lynn. How do you guys feel about that?
The idea of
Like, marriage is the ultimate thing, and it's not the idea. Like, it's not necessarily like you don't really have to.
so the way I think about it is, to most people, marriage is just a piece of paper. Some people do live their life together forever and never get married.
Mm-hmm.
So to make it like an ultimate goal is what I feel like destroy a lot of relationship, because it's the constant pressure of, if you don't marry me, you must not love me. It's crazy to say to someone. And also, I guess I could hear the other side of someone telling me, well, if you can say you love me and you want to stay with me forever, why should a piece of paper matter? So I can see both sides. So in terms of, I do feel a little bit like with Lynn. I don't think like I can promise someone that I'll be with them forever. I think it's crazy to think of forever. Like, forever is a long time. What do you think?
Well, you know what? Right before, I'm just going to add that if I ever do get married, my vows will be different. So my vows will not be, I will not commit to that. I'll commit to trying my best, to giving it my all.
Yeah. How about you, Jeffan? Do you want to get married, or?
You don't know me by now. I'm a hopeless romantic. Of course I want to get married.
Like, I'm looking forward to that.
I am, but with the right person though. I just want to be able to, and I know that it's really difficult to know for a fact this is the person that you're going to be with for the rest of your life. But I do want to, the way that I see it is that if I know that I really love this person and I know that they love me, then why would I want to be with someone else? And for me, getting, even if we're not married, it would be okay, but I don't see, like you said, a piece of paper shouldn't really change how we feel about each other. And I think it's good that, you're able to really merge. It's a union. It's like you saying to that person, I'm choosing you and I want to be with you for the rest of my life. And I'm doing it in front of God and my friends and family. So to me, marriage is very important. And that's why I wouldn't want to be married to someone just for the fact of being married. I want to find the right person, the person that I know for a fact that, you know what, no matter what, life throws at us, we're still going to be able to be with each other and just do what we need to do to stay connected and have beautiful babies.
Is there a time stamp for you, like an age?
To be honest,
Honest.
Be honest.
I want to say no,
Want to, but
but I don't really want to be 40 and not be, I don't want to
But
say
what
not
if
be
that
married
person comes into your life
at
after?
40. Exactly. So my answer is yes and no, but more no, honestly, because
So
like I
you
said,
wouldn't
more,
settle, basically. You
what
wouldn't
is it?
settle until you find the person.
Exactly. So if I don't find that person until 40, then it doesn't matter to me, because what's really important to me is someone that I know that I'm going to be able to live with, and I'm going to be able to tolerate them, and they're going to be able to tolerate me every day. So ideally, I would like to do it before then, but if I can't, if the right person is not already in my life, I don't want to be married just because, you know, my mom wants me to be married, or I'm seeing like that all my friends are getting married. No.
Okay, I like that.
with that, I do too.
Thanks.
So with that being said, and how we feel about marriage,
Wait, I want to
How-
hear Cass's take on marriage.
That's what I mean.
Did I put you on the
I
spot?
think no. I think a long time ago, it's like I saw being married kind of differently than I do now. Like Jiffan, I am like a hopeless romantic. Yeah, I would like to get married. Blah blah blah. But then I am like a really difficult person, and I'm like, is someone gonna be able to tolerate me every single day? Because I know it's gonna be hard for me to tolerate someone. Like, so I don't know. I don't even know. Do I want to get married? Maybe. It's like a really maybe question. Like, I don't know. I don't even know myself. And I know my parents kind of like, how can I say that? They are not pressuring me, but you can tell now what they want is baby. Like, it's always like,
Let's
my
keep the
brother
marriage
has
part. Let's get babies.
Huh?
Let's keep the marriage part. Let's get babies.
Yeah. So my brothers have babies. Like, we have like three kids. I am like auntie to almost three. Like, one of them is still in the belly. And it's like, oh, Cassandra, you're next. And I'm like, I'm sad. Like,
I think,
yeah, so I'm next. I am next. So we'll see. But yes, and talking about like married and children, I don't want to have kids with someone if I'm not married to you. So I think in order to have kids, because I think raising children is really, 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 really hard. I've seen my parents do it. I've seen my friends doing it. And if you're doing it like together, it's hard. And I can't imagine doing it alone. So I would want to be married to someone that I'm having kids with. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just.
I agree with you on that, even though that's not my case, but I agree with you on that. And that's something that if, you know, I would prefer to be married to someone before I have a second kid. So it is hard. It is super hard to raise a kid on your own, and like when they don't have both parents in the same like house. So I totally understand what you're saying. But
what I was gonna say is that I don't necessarily think that you have to be married in order for you to be like a great parent. You know, I see
no.
like, you know, couples that aren't married and are able to co-parent, like, you know, nice.
But there's always going to be one that does the most out of everything. You know what I mean?
It's about being mature and knowing your responsibility. I kind of understand what you're saying, like, you know, the baby mama drama or so whatever type of drama and stuff. I think it's all about maturity. If you're mature enough, and you understand the whole idea behind, like, you know, being a parent, and you don't let like little petty stuff get in between your child, because it's not about you, it's about the kids.
Right.
But sometimes with resentment though, like for example, let's say that you had a child with someone and now you guys are not together anymore, but they're dating someone else, and you see them being happy. And so there's always, we're all human. This is me. This is my take on that. Like, we're all human. We'll all have like different emotions and stuff like that. So it's not, I don't think it has something to do with you being mature. I think as human beings, we have feelings. And when we're hurt or when something happened, like we change. So anything can happen. Like today you see them, they're happy and they're with someone and they're having probably like the best time. And you feel like, okay, as the person that has the kid, you're going through this whole thing while they are with their partner. So you might feel a certain way. And I don't think it's always going to be easy. But if you guys are married and you're at the same house and you want to make things work, I think it's so much different. Because I've seen it like with my parents. My parents have been married for like 37 years now. They've been married for 37 years. And I've seen them like not being happy with each other. I've seen them basically disliking each other. But in the whole thing, I don't think they've ever stopped loving each other.
Right.
So it makes a difference between that bond that they have because they're married. They're committed to being there for each other and for us. It made the whole difference in my life. Like, I don't think I would be the same person I am if I did not have like that parental unit that I have right now. And I do want my kids to have this. And that's something that I think right now I'm changing my answer to. Yes, I do want to get married.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because I was actually going to ask you if that's what you've experienced and witnessed. I'm very surprised that you're kind of confused if you want to get married or
That's
not.
right.
I think my confusion comes from like all my different experiences because it doesn't come only from my parents. I've seen cousins, I've seen friends. So you have that mix of like different life experiences and you're like, oh my gosh, is this how it's going to be? But then it's like, but like when I think about my mom and my dad and all they had to go through and they're still together no matter what. And I can tell, like, I remember their last anniversary, we're doing like just something for them. And you could see my mom just kind of like looking at my dad and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. So it's like, it's something, guys. And I understand like how our Asian parents, sometimes when they tell you, oh, this is what they want for you. And they know why. Like, and talking about it right now, I'm like, shit, I do want to get married.
Well, I'm glad this conversation was able to bring you clarity.
I know, right?
You're talking yourself through it.
I mean, I agree and disagree with you because I do think the resentment that you're talking about and having feelings, I do understand it, but I still stand firm behind the fact that you're supposed to be mature enough to put your kid happiness first. It's not about you.
Whether you're together or not. Yeah.
Right. And also
Question. So, yeah, have your feelings. You know, you're human. You're supposed to feel whatever you want to feel, but it's not about you. It's about that kid.
right, and maturity comes with being able to manage your feelings and emotions. So maturity is a big part of it. Now that we've discussed
Marriage.
how do you guys feel about the process of getting there, the actual dating part?
Right. I feel like just like you see how Jessie Wu said, our parents expect us to keep dating and get straight to marriage. I feel like that's what we did with our conversation.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, that's
The
what you
dating
did
part, and we
with
got-
jump right to marriage.
I mean,
And-
we're not the
Oh, we're going back. We're circling back.
yeah, I think we're at the right how would I say that preparation or sitting down and talking with someone, the knowledge of it's gonna be a rocky road because you're going to have to learn everything on your own. So that's what I think the whole idea of sitting down with someone that's like, you know, older than you or that's more experienced than you to talk about that is very important. Because for myself, it was rocky because I had to learn everything on my own. I had to learn from my own, you know, failure and experiences. So I think it's very important.
Right.
Okay, guys, have you guys ever dated someone that's younger than you?
Currently,
It's a whole other conversation.
Ah!
You. I don't think I can date someone who's younger than me.
Why
Oh,
not?
why not?
I
Why
don't
not?
know.
You're not.
What's dating?
Because I feel like I don't know. I can't really answer why, but then again, you can never say never. So maybe
like
I would.
Never say never. Look at Bella. Look at her face. She's
I
like,
know she looks happy.
Am I not glowing?
you are.
But let's go back to dating though, because I do want to say I did not know what dating was before before I moved to the US, and I was like I'm still very confused about that word, because we're all Haitian, in our culture there's no dating. It's like you meet someone and you just become their ménage, and it's like you accept to be with them. But in the American culture, dating means it's very different from what we were used to. So we're talking about our parents not talking to us about dating. They don't even know what dating is, so we can't blame them.
Right. Right. It's
That's a
like
good
you're
point.
not allowed to date throughout your childhood, and then at some point, well, now it's time for you to get married, right? And whenever we're dating anybody, after the first 3 months, 3 to 6 months, they're asking you, well, what is it? Are
Yeah,
you guys
what
getting married?
exactly?
When is the marriage? You know what I mean?
So wait a second, guys. What is dating for you, though?
I'm in the dating.
That's the
Good
question.
question. That is the dating question.
Yes.
Because I remember telling you guys when we decided on that topic that I still don't understand what the word dating means. Because to me, it's either I'm with you or I'm not with you. But I guess it's the process of
the process of getting to know the person.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
So wait, can you date multiple people at the same
Yes,
time?
because as
And
long
you can,
as
because you're not committed. Yeah.
as long if there's like a verbal understanding between you guys, like we're just dating and we're not in a full relationship, it's okay for you to go out and date other people, because you're basically like tasting the waters. You're trying to see what works and what doesn't work for you. So but
Right.
then when you have that agreement with that other person, okay, we're agreed to date
Together.
Exclusively. Okay.
not supposed to see other people, then that's different.
So basically,
But
what
dating
we're
doesn't
saying
mean
is-
I have a question. for you.
wait a second, Jeffrey. So basically, there's dating, which is like testing the waters, and then there's being in a relationship, which is
Oh
like,
my God, why are you reading my mind for?
because I think I'm reading your mind, girl. No, because in the Haitian community, we don't do that. Like the
Right.
second you are someone's minute, like you. So we don't do the dating; we do the relationship.
Yes, it's like you
Like,
skip
That's
right.
right.
We don't. That's what I'm saying. It's like you meet someone, you like each other, and then it's like, do you want to be my ménage? Yeah.
Right. I
I
guess
mean, but if we're like really processing the whole idea, it's you have to date, and
That's true. See, I had an issue with that. I thought that you meet the person and you had to kind of like commit to that person right away. But I do have to say, in the past year or so, I appreciate the dating concept, because how do you really meet someone and after just a month you know that you want to exclusively be with that person? So I think it's dating.
right.
I'm gonna say I think dating is probably the way to go.
No,
I think
definitely.
I think it's fair to mention
Mhm.
that our Haitian community is in fact a small community, and
Right.
we do know a lot of people. So like if
everyone knows each other.
you do meet someone and you're gonna be their ménage,
Mhm.
chances are you know their family, you know where they went to school,
That's
you know
true.
a lot about them. Versus
That's
when
true.
we're in the US and there's so many people around, and that you have to find out those initial things, and especially since they live like 10, 20, 30 years before you've met them, there's a lot to discover. So that's where I guess the dating applies.
Right. Before, when I spotted someone out, I don't say spotted, but when I meet someone that I'm generally interested in, I needed to know right away, where did they see this going? You know what I mean? Are you wasting my time, or do you see this going somewhere? Right? Because I was very impatient through the process of dating. But you're right. It's super, super important. And I think our parents should stress on that more, like should talk to us about that. And because I think boys know that.
Yeah.
To them, I feel like it's important for them to go through the dating process.
It is.
And for us, I'm not generalizing, but for a lot of women, it's they want to skip through that process and know exactly where they're going. So yeah, it takes a lot to really know someone.
My thing with dating is, I think I don't have patience to deal with like people's BS. Like I can't pay attention to one person. How am I gonna pay attention to 2 or 3? Like this is like my problem with the dating thing. I don't think like the 2 or 3 like dating and going like I don't think I can do that. That's my whole issue.
You could put like a limitation to it. You know, you could you know,
you can date one person at a time.
Explain it, but more so like tasting different food. Like, you know, this one have more salt, this one have less salt, this one have more pepper. You know, like
I love it.
It is. So it's, you know, and you don't have to be sexually active with people that you're dating. It's all up to you, but it's very important to know what you want. And I feel like that's the reason like a lot of relationships are failing, because we want him so fast. We want to jump to the fact, oh, he's my boyfriend, you know, that's like, you know, my girlfriend. And, you know, they're not lasting because you don't know what you want. And if you took time to figure out, like, you know, this person, you would have missed, like, you know, that whole little miss. So
I think this conversation needs to have a part 2. Don't you guys think?
I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we would need to talk a little bit more about marriage, because there's so many aspects of it too. Yeah, I agree with you.
I think what I want our viewers to get out of this, and when I'm talking about our viewers, I'm talking specifically to our younger women that are coming up or figuring out the marriage or the dating situation, is figure out yourself, you know, get to know you, get to know what would make you happy. You cannot expect that everything will come from just being married and having kids, because yes, that will take up a lot of your time, but that won't make you completely fulfilled as a human being. You will have the long schedule, you will have the person that you'd have the kids that you have to take everywhere and take care of, and the husband that you have to care for. But will you know what your purpose is? Will you be fulfilled? Will you be happy? So I guess, yes, we do need a part 2 of this conversation, and I really enjoyed part 1. And thank you guys so much for your input, and thank you for viewing this episode. We post every Thursday on YouTube and Facebook. Please subscribe to our channel, and thanks for joining us.
Bye. Bye.